Hello students, today I am going to describe the applied aspect of adrenocortical hormones. So as you know, the adrenal gland has two parts, adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Adrenal cortex, it secretes the mineralocorticoid and glucocorticoid. So corticosterone, hydrocortisone are the glucocorticoids and aldosterone, they are the mineralocorticoid. So now we see the applied aspect of adrenocortical hormones. So hyperactivity of the adrenal cortex that produce, if cortisol level increase, then it produce Cushing syndrome. If aldosterone level increase, then it produce Cone syndrome. If adrenal androgens level increase, it produce adrenogenital syndrome. So these are the hyperactivity of adrenal cortex. Now we discuss each condition separately. So what is Cushing syndrome? So Cushing syndrome, it is a group of clinical condition that occurring due to prolonged excessive level of glucocorticoids. Causes are divided into two groups: ACTH dependent Cushing syndrome, okay, so that is a more common, and that is caused by excess secretion of ACTH by anterior pituitary. So which are the causes of excessive secretion of ACTH by anterior pituitary? So adenomas, tumor of anterior pituitary that secrete the large amount of ACTH, which stimulate the adrenal gland, so it produces adrenal hyperplasia. So because of that, there is excessive secretion of cortisol, and that condition produce, it is known as Cushing's disease. Second is the abnormal function of the hypothalamus, that causing high level of corticotropin releasing hormone, which stimulate the excess ACTH release, which in turn stimulate the release of excess cortisol. Okay, so this is a ACTH dependent Cushing syndrome. Third thing is ectopic secretion of ACTH by tumor that is present elsewhere in the body, like carcinoma of lung and abdominal carcinoma. Fourth thing is excessive ACTH therapy. Then ACTH independent Cushing syndrome, that is 20% cases. In that, adrenal adenoma and carcinoma are there, and exogenous excess glucocorticoid administration. When some autoimmune disease is there, then we have to take excessive glucocorticoids in the form of treatment. So that also produce Cushing syndrome, and that is ACTH independent Cushing syndrome. Which are the clinical features of the Cushing syndrome or Cushing disease? So truncal or centripetal obesity is produced because of redistribution of the fat occur. Then moon-like face or buffalo hump occur, okay, because of this redistribution of fat. Then excessive stretching of the skin and subcutaneous tissue occurs, so it produces purple stria and cutaneous abdominal stria. Then due to protein breakdown, muscle become weak and back pain occur. Limbs become thin because there is a negative nitrogen valence due to protein catabolism. In the bones, there is a calcium reabsorption occurs, so bone become very fragile, osteoporosis occur, and chances of bone fracture is increased. Also, susceptibility to infections increases due to immunity is decreased, impaired wound healing. Okay. due to increase the blood glucose level, okay, insulin resistance, diabetes mellitus occur. Sodium and water retention occur, that produce the edema and hypertension. Acne, excessive secretion of glucocorticoids produce acne and hirsutism. Excessive secretion of ACTH and MSH, that produce blackening of the skin due to pigmentation. And more secretion of gastric hormone leads to excess secretion of HCl, so there is the increased susceptibility of peptic ulceration. So these are all the clinical features of the Cushing syndrome. This figure that showing the person with the Cushing syndrome, and if after treatment of Cushing syndrome, so you can see in this figure there is a redistribution of fat around the face. Okay. Okay. This is a picture of purple stria. Okay, the excessive stretching of the skin and subcutaneous tissue. Now, how will you diagnose the Cushing syndrome? Which are the tests available for that? So, in Cushing syndrome, plasma cortisol level is increased and loss of diurnal variation, and also 24-hour urine free cortisol level is increased. One test is known as dexamethasone suppression test. So you have to administer large dose of dexamethasone, that is synthetic glucocorticoids, that is used to distinguish between the ACTH dependent and ACTH independent Cushing syndrome. So if ACTH dependent Cushing syndrome is there, then dexamethasone do not suppress the ACTH secretion. If ACTH independent means it is of adrenal origin, then suppression of ACTH occur. So that is a dexamethasone suppression test. Then which is the what are the treatment options for Cushing syndrome? So if tumor is present in adrenal gland, so you have to remove that tumor by surgical intervention. Then hypertrophied pituitary glands are there. If tumors is present in pituitary gland that secrete the ACTH, over secrete ACTH, that surgically remove or destroy by radiation. Also various drugs available that block the steroidogenesis like metirapone, ketoconazole and aminoglutathione. So these are the medicines available for the Cushing syndrome. So these are the surgical and medical management of the Cushing syndrome. Also drugs available for the ACTH secretion, which inhibit the ACTH secretion, like serotonin antagonist and GABA transaminase inhibitor when surgery is not possible. Also bilateral partial adrenalectomy followed by administration of adrenal steroid to make the any insufficiency that develops. After Cushing syndrome, okay, if aldosterone level increase, then what happen? Hyperaldosteronism, that is known as Cohen's syndrome. So causes primary hyperaldosteronism, that is known as Cohen's syndrome, that occur due to small tumor or hyperplasia of Juna glomerulosa cell. Secondary hyperaldosteronism due to some extra-adrenal cause which stimulate the renin-angiotensin system, nephrotic syndrome, cirrhosis of liver, congestive cardiac failure or toxemia or pregnancy. So these are the causes of secondary hyperaldosteronism. Clinical features of hyperaldosteronism. So in that sodium and water retention occur, increase in the extracellular fluid volume and blood volume, very slight increase in the plasma sodium concentration, hypertension and edema, hypokalemia producing muscle weakness and periodic muscle paralysis. Metabolic alkalosis occur, metabolic alkalosis that produce hypocalcemia and that produce tetany due to decreased calcium level and excessive muscle contraction. So these are all clinical features of hyperaldosteronism. Due to aldosterone if increase, it produces sodium and water retention, and edema and hypertension increase, hypertension occur. Also there is a loss of potassium ion, so hypokalemia occur and hypernatremia occur. What is the diagnostic criteria of primary aldosteronism? So in that plasma renin concentration that is decreased. So renin is a hormone that is secreted from kidney. Okay. So it results from feedback suppression of renin secretion that is caused by excess aldosterone or by excess extracellular fluid volume and arterial pressure resulting from aldosteronism. Treatment is surgical removal of the tumor or the adrenal tissue. Now what is adrenogenital syndrome? Occasionally adrenocortical tumor that secrete the excessive amount of adrenal androgens, okay, dehydroepiandrosterone, okay, so that produce a masculizing effect throughout the body. Causes are tumors of Juna reticularis. So in the female it develops virilizing characteristic, growth of the beard, much deeper voice, baldness if she also has a genetic trait for the baldness, masculizing distribution of the hair on the body and pubis, growth of the clitoris to like penis, then deposition of the proteins in the skin and the muscles to give the masculine characteristic, and absence of menstruation, amenorrhea. So these are the symptoms of adrenogenital syndrome in the female. Mostly masculine distribution of the hair, body and pubis is there. In the male, in the pubertal male, virilizing adrenal tumor occur that produce same characteristics in the female. So this figure in this you can see there is a pre-pubertal development of the external genitalia. So this is a figure of 4-year-old boy with the adrenogenital syndrome. Rapid development of the male sexual organs because of this excessive secretion of the adrenal androgens. So this can be asked in your objective questions or in the graph, okay, on the spotting. So in the adult male, the virilizing characteristic of adrenal syndrome are obscured by normal virilizing characteristic of the testosterone secreted by the testis. Estrogen production may produce female-like symptoms like gynecomastia, atrophy of testes, loss of libido or feminine body. Which are the diagnosis of adrenogenital syndrome? So in adrenogenital syndrome, excretion of the 17 ketosteroids in the urine increase 10 to 15 times normal. Okay, so increased amount of 17 ketosteroids is the diagnostic criteria of adrenogenital syndrome. If secretion of the adrenal gland decrease, that it cause hypoadrenalism. So failure of the adrenal cortex to produce the adrenocortical hormones. Primary adrenocortical insufficiency, that is caused by involvement of the adrenal cortex associated with the high ACTH level due to feedback mechanism, Addison's disease and congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Secondary adrenocortical deficiency that occurs due to the involvement of the either hypothalamus or pituitary, or due to exogenous glucocorticoid administration, or associated with the low ACTH level. So Addison's disease, this also a very important topic for your viva or objective questions or in the short note. Also Cushing syndrome and Addison disease, that is important for this adrenal gland concern. All the glucocorticoids, okay, function of glucocorticoid, action of glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, it is also asked in the exam. Addison's disease causes 80% of the cases. Atrophy is caused by the autoimmunity against the cortex or tuberculous infection of this adrenal gland, fungal or cytomegalovirus infection, or invasion of the adrenal gland by the cancer, bilateral adrenalectomy but failure to take hormone therapy. So these are all causes of Addison's disease. Clinical features of this Addison's disease. So in Addison's disease, the deficiency of mineralocorticoid and corticosteroid. So Mineralocorticoid deficiency produce which are the clinical features? So if mineralocorticoid are deficient, means aldosterone is deficient, so there is a no sodium and water retention, so sodium is lost in the urine, so it produces a hyponatremia, and because of that potassium level increase, hyperkalemia is produced, acidosis occurs due to increased level of H plus ions. Okay, so due to removal of the water and sodium ions, plasma volume decrease and hypotension occur. Weakness is produced due to loss of sodium ion. Pigmentation of skin and mucous membrane occur due to increased level of MSH. Shock because of this prolonged hypotension. If untreated, then death occur within that 4 days to 2 weeks. So these are the symptoms of mineralocorticoid deficiency. Glucocorticoid deficiency: loss of cortisol secretion, no synthesis of significant quantities of glucose by gluconeogenesis, difficult to maintain the normal blood glucose level between the meals. Okay. Reduce the mobilization of both proteins and fat from the tissue, muscle weakness, weight loss, malaise, anorexia, nausea, vomiting and diarrhea occur, stress and respiratory infection occur. So these are the all symptoms of glucocorticoid deficiency. Melanin pigmentation occur of mucous membrane and skin. Thin skin areas such as mucous membrane of the lips and thin skin of the nipple. Which are the cause of melanin deposition? Increased ACTH secretion. Loss of androgen causes sparse hair in the female. Which are the tests for Addison's disease? So plasma cortisol level is low, plasma aldosterone low, serum sodium is low, serum potassium level is high, blood glucose level is low, plasma renin activity high, basal ACTH level high in the Addison's disease, low in the pituitary and hypothalamic causes. So these are the tests for Addison's disease. Treatment: we have to give both mineralocorticoid and glucocorticoid. So oral prednisolone 20 mg in the morning, 10 mg in the evening. Mineralocorticoid replacement: fludrocortisone 0.05 to 0.1 mg per day is adequate to maintain the blood pressure, electrolyte and renin activity. So this is the treatment part of this hypoaldosteronism. So Addisonian crisis. So if person with the Addison's disease, the critical need for extra glucocorticoids and associated severe debility occur in the time of stress, it is known as Addisonian crisis. Causes are acute precipitation of Addison's disease under the effect of the stress, infection, hemorrhage, trauma or major surgical operation. Sudden withdrawal of glucocorticoid treatment. Clinical features of Addison's crisis: weakness, nausea, vomiting, fever, hypoglycemia, hypotension and shock. Treatment is exogenous glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, fluid and electrolyte treatment of precipitant factors. So these are the treatment options available for Addison's crisis.